What's up, guys? So I've been trying to go live in the group here for a minute, so I could have interacted with you a little bit, but apparently Zoom and Facebook aren't being friends right now. So I just wanted to hop in here really quick. I've got an impromptu training that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. I'm just finishing up my morning routine here, doing my journaling, gratitude, getting ready to head off to the gym. I'm out here at my place in Cayman Islands, and I wanted to put something together for you to share, something that I believe will radically transform the way that you look at crafting and creating sales and marketing materials and running your promotions online. So we all know that marketing is nothing more than understanding how to get in front of an audience and making the most effective offers to them. And the way at which we get good at that is understanding how to drive traffic and how to communicate to that traffic effectively, how to convert it, how to sell. And that those skills really are media buying, being able to buy media, which is getting the right offer in front of the right audience at the right time, and being able to sell and communicate effectively to that traffic, to that audience, and doing it in a way that is compelling. So keep that in mind for what we're about to get into here. But what I wanted to say is that when I step in and I start running marketing promotions, there's very clear things that I do every single day. For instance, if I'm a quarterback for an NFL team versus a linebacker for an NFL team, I have different rituals and regiments. And although I've been a CEO and a founder of companies, and the regiments that I take on for those particular roles, the books that I'm reading, the things that I'm studying, what my day-to-day really looks like, and how I craft and curate my schedule, my rituals, and my routines, it looks different than when I'm an affiliate marketer and I'm running promotions. So I want to talk a little bit today about your daily method of operation, your schedule, your ritual, your routine. Do you have one? And if you have not defined one yet, why not? Me personally, when I'm out here in the Cayman Islands, for instance, so this is my home, my morning ritual looks a little different. I just spent some time playing with my daughter, reading to her, giving her her morning bottle and breakfast. I come outside. I do my morning gratitude, journal, read, review my schedule for the day. And then I have a couple other things that when I'm an affiliate marketer that I do before I dive into, I head off to the gym. I really like to get moving. But my ritual, it looks different here, and my routine looks different here in this location, in the role when I'm doing promotions and marketing than it does when I'm at my winter vacation home in Canada, for instance. I design different rituals depending on what I'm working on at the time and how I'm going about it. I want to challenge you to really start to find a ritual and a daily method of operation that's going to really fill you up. But that it also includes, here's the caveat, that it also includes your income producing activities. As an affiliate marketer, there's really only two things that make you money. That's it, only two. Getting fresh eyeballs on your offer and following up with the people who have viewed your offer yesterday and communicating to them more effectively. So the things that I like to practice every day is how am I buying media and running ads, and how am I practicing copywriting. See, copywriting is actually the most valuable skill. It is. It's the least sexy, but it's the most valuable. And it's actually a really simple thing to practice and get good at. And the funny part is that your daily practice of this skill set it starts to compound over time, where you're getting better at it, and you're building up an archive, a backlog of incredible content and materials, and it's going to allow you to consistently increase and improve your sales conversions. So I want to share with you a little strategy based around copywriting. I wanted to give you the overarching picture of your daily method of operation, your routine. You should definitely be practicing gratitude. You should definitely be reading. You should definitely be taking the time to really fill yourself up. And I highly suggest taking the first bit of time in the morning before you jump into social media, check emails, do anything that puts you in this reactive state, that you use that focused time to do your biggest income producing tasks and to do your most creative work before you start getting pulled in all sorts of different directions. And it's one of those things that if you start to understand the compound effects of this, which we're going to touch on that here again at the end, I think you'll start to understand how this can radically transform your life. And if you haven't noticed yet, there's a reason that we talk about the 5 pillars, the 5 things that you can do every single day that will virtually guarantee your success. And this is one of the things that I do every single day when I'm actively practicing and wearing my affiliate and promotional hat, that I think will radically change the way that you think about marketing and honestly how easy it can be. There's also something we've done in the back office. You'll notice that first steps to success is no longer there. It's called the DMO game. And there's a game where you're actually able to track every single day that you can do and complete these 5 things. I would challenge you to do it. I would challenge you to see if you could be on the top leaderboard and to do these things consistently. Because when you do these things consistently, this is how you can ensure that you're going to be able to build a multiple six-figure income. And I can guarantee you that if you have your eyes set on being able to build $1 million business, which is absolutely possible, that it's never going to happen if you can't show up and do these small things every day consistently. If you treat this like $1 million business, it will be $1 million business. If you treat this like a hobby where you show up and you do the things when you feel like doing them, it's going to pay you like a hobby. And guess what? Hobbies don't pay. They cost you quite a bit, especially depends which hobbies you're into. So I want to preface this by saying that if I were, because I don't want to oversimplify what I'm about to show you, because it is really simple. And the thing about things that are simple and easy is that they're simple and easy to do, but they're just as simple and easy not to do. And I want to ask you this, that if I were to show you literally my $1 million blueprint, my $1 million map, would you follow it? Like actually, would you follow it? Because it's super interesting to me over the years, having had thousands of people go through some of my content, my training, and my work, is that you have people like Jang and Julian that go on to go build multi-million-dollar businesses with the information. And you have other people who had the same access that didn't do anything with it. You can give people the same tools, the same training, the same resources, but the ultimate question is, what are you going to do with it? You are the variable here. Are you going to show up and dive into it? So here's one of the things that I do when I'm promoting and marketing, and it's how I actually practice and improve at copywriting every single day. So the very first thing I do, I got to close this down. I was trying to go on friggin' Facebook Live here forever. The very first thing I do when I'm running a new promotion as an affiliate is, over time, I like to build what's called a swipe file. Now, for a copywriter, a swipe file is basically a document full of like good references. So when you see a good ad, let's maybe add it to our swipe file. If we see a good sales letter, we see a good advertorial, we see a good article, we find things that are like inspiring, that like literally made us like, we see something and we become aware of, oh, that grabbed my attention. What was it about that grabbed my attention? Let's save that for later. or, oh, this made me want to buy. Why do I feel so compelled to buy, and realize that this is the answer, and not necessarily that you need to buy it, but that you're looking at it from the mindset of a marketer, and you're like, what triggers, what points, what frame, what perspective, what formula, what recipe did they just use on me? Because here's the thing to understand about copywriting is that it's all about understanding persuasion and psychology. And when you really learn how to do these things, it's like having a superpower. And I urge you to use these for good, because it ultimately allows you to be able to influence people to do things that are good for them and in their best interest. Please keep that in mind. So what I do is I go out and I ultimately have a swipe file. And one of the things that I sit down and that I do every single day is I practice writing copy. When I have my marketing hat on and I'm sitting down as an affiliate marketer, I used to run a multi-million-dollar, purely before I started launching companies, just an affiliate business. And I would sit down and I'd write a little bit of copy every day. Sometimes it would be an email, sometimes it'd be a sales letter, sometimes it'd be a script for a VSL. And I would do it every single morning, and it would inspire my Facebook posts. It would inspire some of my ads. It would inspire the emails that I would send to my list. It would ultimately influence all of it as I start putting myself into the mindset where I'm crafting sales materials every day. And what ends up happening is I end up building this backlog of content and this archive of great information that I can use to retarget all of my Facebook leads. I can use to drip on my email list, and I can ultimately have new, fresh things that I can be testing consistently as I'm refining my message, as I'm connecting with my market, and as I'm ultimately increasing my sales conversions. So all I do is I go out and I have a swipe file of things that are inspiring, so that way when I sit down in the morning, it's as simple as like taking something and using it as inspiration to be able to rewrite. So I want to give you a very specific example here. I'm going to share my screen with you. So a lot of people confuse what a swipe file is. So I'm going to use, and they think that a swipe file means like copying and pasting. That's called plagiarism. I'm not talking about copying and pasting, and I want to prove my point here by actually using by using an inspirational piece of copy from a completely different industry, so that you can understand what I mean when I say using swipe copy or an inspirational file. So you'll notice here that I want to go through an example. I'm going to create a promotional sales letter, article, advertorial, however you want to look at it. You'll see how it can be chopped up to be used for inspiration for emails. You'll see how this can be chopped in to be used as hooks in ad copy. But I want to show you how simple and easy this can actually be. And I want you to understand the power of practicing this daily and getting better at writing and crafting sales materials as a copywriter. Most important thing. So you'll notice here that this is an article actually selling. It's called an advertorial. And what an advertorial is ultimately it's native looking content. So it's an ad, but it basically looks native to a platform. So you'll notice back in the day, a newsletter, they'd have these double page ads, but it would look like it was a newspaper article, but they'd be these full page ads. And that was like old school copywriting. I wish I had any of my copy books here to show you. They're all at my winter home in Canada. I'm all tablet out here in the Cayman. And so an advertorial on Facebook, for instance, would be like an article. It looks native to the space. So this is an example of an advertorial for a back pain device. So it literally has nothing to do with the Affiliate Institute, digital education, making money online, any of those motives. So you'll notice here it says, could this no-pill in-home device really help my aching muscles? Despite doing everything right, I couldn't shake my aching muscles. But after hearing about this new device that claims to relieve sore muscles without pills and without me leaving my house, I decided to check it out. I've got a desk job, which means you've guessed it, I've got constant lower back pain. Now I want to show you how I took this inspiration and I'm using it as a framework and a template to create some copy for AI. Now, I'm doing this purely as an example and sample for you to show you how easy this is. This is something I was just writing before I'm heading to the gym. It's not fully complete. I haven't even read through and edited it for you, but I want to show you this. So you'll see, could this no-pill in-home device really help my aching muscles? Which inspired this headline. Could this affiliate institution and certification program really help me replace my job? See how I was able to take something completely unrelated, but I could take the frame, the hook, and that verbiage and be able to apply it to something completely different. Then I have here, despite doing everything right, I couldn't shake my aching muscles. But after hearing about this new device that claims to relieve sore muscles without pills and without me leaving my house, I decided to check it out. And I have in here, despite doing everything right, I couldn't shake the feeling of dread every morning as I frantically rush out of the house for my daily commute. But after hearing about this new digital training program that claims to teach you step by step in a virtual classroom how you can work online for yourself without any previous experience and without me leaving my house, I decided to check it out for myself. See here, I have a desk job. I've got a desk job. I just wanted to keep the frame so you guys could see where I was going with this, which means you've guessed it, I've got constant lower back pain, which means you guessed it, I work in corporate America. I'm still paying down my student loan debt. And like most Americans, no matter how hard I work or how many more extra hours I pick up each week at my job, I don't feel like I'm getting ahead. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. You probably know what I mean. After all, something like 80% of Americans suffer from back pain at some point during their lives. You probably know what I mean. After all, the median American household has only $11,700 in savings, according to a recent study conducted using data from the Federal Reserve and Federal Deposit Insurance Corp, with 29% of households having less than $1,000 in savings. Again, I was just going stat for stat. But what annoys me most is that my pain is nothing. I wasn't in an accident. I don't have a slipped disc. I don't have any injuries. My posture is okay, and I walk or go to the gym around five times a week to keep fit. But what drives me crazy when I hear stories about people working completely online, independently, setting their own hours and working where they please, is that so far I've done everything right. I went to a good school. I got my bachelor's degree. I live below my means. I save every month, and I've even been taking online courses, reading books, and working to create additional income on the evenings and weekends. But that's not even the half of it. That's not even the half of it. So again, you'll see, I'm not going to go through line for line with you with everything here, but I just want you to see the concept here. So when I say swipe copy, I don't mean taking something only from the exact same industry and changing a couple. I want you to see that swipe copy is no more than taking really good, effective sales materials that have inspired you and using it kind of as a framework and template to be able to practice and craft things for the offers that you're promoting. It's really about this gives you the chance to test new hooks, to test new angles, to figure out what your audience is actually really excited about and responding to. When we're split testing different things, one of the most important things is the offer itself. We've just made a couple tweaks. I'll give you an example. We made a couple tweaks that more than cut our cost per acquisition in half. We had our winner, our control, where we were talking about a certain benefit, and then we kind of shifted a little bit. Like, what's the real driving motive? What is it that people really want? And I can tell you, me personally, when I got started online, I wasn't looking to build a multi-million-dollar business. Honestly, I just was tired of the commute. Even if it meant that I had to make less money, if I could have just worked at home for myself, that would have been everything to me. I didn't care about getting rich. I didn't care about making a ton of money. I just wanted to be able to work from home for myself on my own terms, which meant that I could get up when I wanted. I could work late when I wanted, take lunch when I wanted, take breaks when I wanted. I would work just as hard, if not harder, but I just wanted to be able to do it for home for myself. If I had the ability to make more money, that was a bonus. I was just tired of the time that I was wasting, honestly, commuting back to work every day. It was over 2 hours every day that I was just wasting driving. I wasn't getting paid for it. It cost me money to go to my job. And honestly, I hated that. Those are my driving forces and my motives. So I want you to think, like, what's some of your driving force? What's some of your motives? And weaving in your story. The story that I was writing here is just an example. I wasn't somebody that I never worked in corporate America, so I just was kind of writing this as to show you a sample. Maybe there's some of you guys that did work in corporate America that could tailor this to your perspective, your story, your frame. The more that you're just openly sharing, being real, weaving in your story, the thing is that what you'll realize is that there's so many aspects of our story that we can tell. There's that aspect of my story when I was, and because it's the story when I was at a certain level of awareness, when I didn't know that there was anything else. So when I'm telling that story of that level of awareness, it's helping epiphanize and move people at that level of awareness forward. If I am sharing the story about when I was running my first ad campaigns and I was learning what leads were and like that's a different level of awareness where you're moving somebody forward. So you always want to make sure that you're writing, that depending on who you're targeting, that you're speaking to them where they're at and that you're not making assumptions about it. So this article, this piece is designed for somebody who is looking to, what's the motive and the outcome? What's the big promise? They're looking to replace their job. They're looking to work at home for themselves. So the stories that I would be sharing in this type of copy and the angle and direction would be about how I was able to do that and the solutions that I've found along the way. Or again, whether you've done it or not. So I'm going to go a little bit further here. It says, but it doesn't matter. I still wake up every morning stiff and tense, but it doesn't matter. I still wake up every morning knowing there's a better way. You can see where they had introduced the product. They call it Massage Hero. They call it the Affiliate Institute. Basically, it's a small handheld device that gives you what's called a percussive massage. Basically, it's this online training company that's created a custom education platform and curriculum with some of the world's top digital marketers and serial entrepreneurs. Each professor running their own 6 or 7 figure business online, teaching the ins and outs of running a profitable affiliate marketing business for yourself from your laptop. As percussive massage is like what most people think of as a Swedish style massage like you see in the movies. I kind of kept this going because there's a little bit more context to breaking down this concept outside of percussive massage. It says, they believe that if you're willing to do the work, affiliate marketing is the most effective way for anyone to work online for themselves. Affiliate marketing is like a franchise without the costs, where you get to leverage an existing company's brand, reputation, and proven products to sell to an already in-demand audience, but without the millions of dollars in startup costs. Instead, you and I are able to register for an affiliate program. Pretty much every company on the planet has one these days, and get our own unique link where anyone who uses that link, when they decide to purchase a product or service, it's coded back to us, and we're paid a portion of the sale. Some affiliate programs are free. Some you need to license the product, but the basic idea is the same. You can share an existing company's products and services that you like and believe in without having to deal with employees, space, rent, delivery of the product, customer service, or any of the traditional headache that comes from owning a traditional franchise, with any of the cost or risk. A franchise, on average, requires $200,000 in capital to invest. You also need at least $1 million in the bank as collateral. Then you need to find a physical location, invest in building out the property, and then hiring and training the staff. Then you need to buy the marketing to inform the people around you that it exists. Anyway, I just went off on it. This wasn't me matching it there. This isn't really a good example here. This is where I just went on a tangent. Because it inspired me when I had that thought and idea up here, it inspired me about that relation. So you'll see how that was kind of a different hook that you can play with. And it's how Massage Hero works, how the Affiliate Institute works. But you'll see that I'm copying the same frame of all of this. So it's kind of what I wanted to share with you. When you sit down to do this, again, it's not that you have to complete a new sales letter every day or a new article, but I really challenge you that if you do plan on building a 6 or 7 figure business, to take the time each day to practice writing copy, getting better at it. Create a swipe file of things that are inspiring. It doesn't have to be in your space, in the industry, around the product or service that you're promoting. But that it will radically change the way that you approach marketing, and you will start to find that hook and angle. It helps you gain clarity, and it will also help you find the hook and angle that is really going to absolutely crush it in your marketing. It's going to help you find, like, you're one campaign away. You're one campaign away from completely transforming your life, and sometimes that's just finding that hook, that angle. It's one ad one page, one sales piece. And I can tell you this from personal experience, because when we hit the nail on the head with one of my previous companies, before I had sold my ownership in it, it was one ad, it was one framework, one webinar, one hook, and we ran with that all the way to over $40 million in sales. So I want to just put that into perspective for you. And when you take the time to really practice this every day, you're going to be getting better at writing copy. You're going to be building up an archive of good sales and marketing materials that you've crafted, that you own, that you can pull from at any time. And it's going to help you gain better clarity and understanding of what your market wants as they start to respond to it differently. So that's kind of my challenge for you here today, is create that swipe file, start to use them as a framework, and start to just use it to practice writing copy every day. I'm sure you can see from what I wrote there that like there's some great stuff that can be mailed out to a leads list for AI, that there is some great stuff that can be used to retarget those leads from AI on Facebook, and that there's multiple hooks, frames, and stories inside of all of it. And you looked at what ultimately is a full-on sales letter. To have a sales letter like that written from a professional copywriter can cost upwards anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000, depending on the track record of that particular copywriter. So I want you to understand the value of what you are starting to practice and improve at, because you don't practice for the sake of practicing. Like when you are studying and practicing something, that's when you're really starting to improve. And I think that a lot of people overlook the value of copywriting and what this skill really means. Copywriting, media buying. You can pretty much fit everything that you need to do to be able to run a 7-figure digital business inside of that frame there. But copywriting is the most important of them, because it helps you understand your audience. It helps you understand the hooks and the frames that they're looking for, which ultimately ends up affecting the media that you're buying. And if you don't have these sales materials and these conversion pieces, then you don't have anything to buy media for. You don't have any reason to, you don't have anywhere to send your Facebook traffic, your YouTube traffic, your Google traffic, your email traffic. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Please let me know in the section, in the comments below, what your biggest takeaway was from this video. And if you are absolutely committed to starting to create your swipe file and write copy daily, let me know. Love and appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon.